Good morning. Monday. Today is going to be a fun day because we're going to talk about some of my favorite things, which includes Elvis Presley. And you see this? I've got on my Elvis pin today. I have on pink and black today in honor of the king of rock and roll who left this world August the 16th, 1977, sadly, because his own personal physician in front of the Tennessee Board of Medicine admitted to writing him thousands of prescriptions of narcotics and drugs. Thousands. His own doctor did that to him. Everybody knows what I've been going through. Everybody knows, and not many of you have seen what it was, but soon you're going to get to see what it is. And Tim is putting together a package that shows from the very first day of surgery until it was over, until it started healing. We still have a little drainage going on, still got a little pain going on because the nerves are still working kind of weird, but I am so excited. My doctor thought that I was crazy because I wouldn't take anything for pain. Things like Elvis Presley's death make me very, very nervous about any kind of prescribed medication. Don't let your doctor give you something that will make you addicted. Don't overtake what they do give you. After you have surgery, you need something for pain. The doctor told me I did. I listened to him, and I took the mildest something I could take was ibuprofen, which is so simple. But honestly, this world is full of people who just had possibly an operation, possibly anxiety, possibly something crazy, and many of them end up either addicted or dead. Elvis was no different. He was just a guy who went to the doctor. He was under a lot of pressure. He battled depression, and he battled lack of sleep because of his crazy schedule. We lost the king of rock and roll because of addicted medication. That is crazy. Do you know what we lost when we lost him? Nobody will ever replace him. Nobody can ever do what he did. He was amazing. But do you know who had more #1 hits than Elvis Presley? Conway Twitty. We lost him too, but it wasn't to drug addiction. It was to an aneurysm. We've lost so much talent in the music world, and today we're going to honor some of that talent. We're also going to share an interview that I did with Lee Hilliard, who worked for Loretta Lynn for 30 years. Loretta was truly, I know that Kitty Wells was the queen of music, always. Queen of country music, but Loretta stepped up and took her place. So we're going to share a little bit of all of that today, but we're going to start, my allergies are really, really going crazy today. We're going to start with baby Xana and her first steps. I had to share this with y'all. This was compliments of Ansley. Ansley was lucky enough to get this. The kid looked like she had been drinking Boone's Farm apple wine because she took that first step. Her balance was kind of off, but this is the cutest video, and I think it is my favorite video out of all the videos we've ever had of her stepping out. This is her first steps, and it is so, so cute. And it is one of those things that I had to share with y'all because you keep up with her on Facebook. You always ask me about her. And for everybody who's asking about Riker, he's about to turn 5 years old. Is that not crazy? He begins going to kindergarten this week. It is just so weird how fast the time goes. They grow up too fast. And then they're in school, and then they're influenced by others, and then you don't get to spend as much time with them. So enjoy every single moment. I know that a lot of kids are going back to school tomorrow. I guess 99.9% of our viewer kids are going back to school tomorrow. But once they get on those school buses, they're not yours for all those hours a day. And so we have to capture the moment while we have them. Here we go with baby Xana and her first steps. Is that not precious? She was so proud of herself because she didn't fall and bust her hiney, and she was so proud of herself. That is so cute. That is so sweet. Well, let me tell you what happened in Ball Ground. The same thing that happened everywhere else. Storms, storms, storms. And we have some photos of things that happened when that storm came through, and we still have power lines, phone lines down on 372 right at the Wheeler house. There are still lines down. There's still, I know one family in particular that doesn't have their phone service back because there are still lines laying down on 372, and we're going to share some photos with y'all of a tractor and trailer that a big tree landed on top of as he was coming down through ball ground on that day when it went absolutely crazy. It was the weirdest storm. It almost felt like a tornado in a lot of areas, and I think they have declared it a tornado in some areas. But it was one of those things, many people were without power a couple of days, and sadly, some of them were without power 3 to 4 days. And I understand up on Cove Road in Jasper, different areas were hit really, really hard. Over in the Yellow Creek area, over in the Cons Creek area, a lot of folks were hit and were having to literally cut themselves out of their own driveways. They couldn't even leave their properties. So we're going to share some of those photos with you now. And if you have photos, I'd love for you to share. But let me show you what yesterday looked like in ball ground. Is that not the prettiest blue sky? And we now have signs up about the ridge at Farmers Crossing, which is going to be the place to build your beautiful dream home. And we're going to only have about 15 lots available. Now this is what happened in downtown ball ground. So fortunate that nobody was injured when this tree hit that tractor and trailer. And you talk about snarling up traffic, buddy, traffic was snarled up for a long time that night. It was crazy. And imagine being that poor truck driver when that tractor and trailer starts to shift as it turns over, and he's sitting in that cab going, uh-oh, what happened? What happened was a big old tree decided to take that trailer down, and it sure did it. It was crazy, and this was right downtown ball ground. So now we had a pet adoption at our office, and it was super successful. It was super fun. The puppies were precious, and there was one, and I cannot remember his name, and I'm going to have to think about it. He was a gray, cute little boy that I think Evelyn, he ended up at Evelyn's house. It's so precious. But if you are looking for a pet, please do not shop, adopt. Adopt yourselves a pet. That is what it's all about. Give them a forever home. Take care of them. Love them. Make sure that you rescue. That's all you have to do is rescue. Now, that's a cute boy. I can't remember his name either, but they were so sweet, and several were adopted, which was really cool. And this is one of those things. It's our way of giving back, to open our office and to let the folks come and visit and spend time getting to know the dogs. And I love that. I said that's kind of like shop with a cop. He's adopting with a cop, so that was pretty cool. And there's one of the babies that was adopted, and it was just a really good Saturday to get to know the pets and to get to know the people, and to know that their mom, the mom of those puppies, was going to be put down 2 days after her adoption. If the adoption had not happened, she would have been put down, and she was carrying, I believe it was 12 puppies. So all those 12 puppies now are finding homes. So just think about that. That is truly life-saving. So now that is our newest road in ball ground. That is Brogan's Bluff, and that is the name of the street overlooking the beautiful mountain views where we're going to have these great lots for sale, building some beautiful, beautiful homes. And I tell everybody, the mountains are closer than you think because they're right there in ball ground, Georgia. Just look out over that view. And it is going to be absolutely beautiful with beautiful, beautiful homes coming, and that's in the very, very near future. So we're excited about that. There are a lot of things happening in ball ground. One of the things we're going to be doing on August the 12th at our office and all downtown ball ground is going to be Christmas in August, and we're going to have all kinds of goodies going on, from face painting and refreshments and Christmas cookies at our office. And let me tell you about that, the City of Refuge. I met some really nice guys on Friday who came by my office, and they were in town. They make really pretty craft pieces, and we got a couple to give as gifts. Just really, really nice guys, and they are part of the City of Refuge. If you are looking for somewhere for someone to recover from an addiction, that place is worth checking out. And those are some of the guys. They have a woodworking shop. They make things. They sell it to sustain themselves as they are getting back into society after being addicted to drugs. So there are the phone numbers if you are looking for information, and there are their numbers. Take down their website, get to know a little bit about them. That's the piece that I got, and I just love that. Faith is not believing that God can, it's knowing that He will. And I just love that. It was just perfect. So there you go. Today is a day of remembering. We are going to go through the years. We're going to go way back through the years, and we're going to talk a little bit about the music, because the music made all of us. You know, there's nobody who doesn't remember Elvis Presley's music. There's nobody who doesn't remember Loretta Lynn's music. There's nobody who doesn't remember the Beatles' music. And speaking of the Beatles, I told Mr. Ellijay, I said, I got some stuff I'm supposed to deliver to some people. And he said, no, wait till the new CDs are out. I've remastered and they're better. And I said, well, I've already got them. He said, no, wait and take the good ones. And I said, well, these aren't bad. So anyway, so new CDs are going to be coming soon. He's still waiting on Astrid to get here in August, but it's almost August. So she will be here. Once she does her part, then they will go to mastering and we will have new CDs available. So today you're going to get a lot of his music. We're going to do some of his music later in the show. We're going to share some of the things that he's produced himself. But we're going to do a trip to Graceland, and we're going to do that after we do a commercial. So we're going to do, it's interesting to me when I look back at my life and the music I loved. The Beach Boys, I loved the Righteous Brothers, I loved Peter and Gordon, I loved Herman's Hermits, I loved so many groups. But I was addicted to Elvis Presley music. I mean, that was just my go-to music. I listened to it all the time. And so we're going to go to Dwight Sanford as he does Suspicious Minds, which is certainly not as Elvis did it, but it is a great song. He did a great job. Astrid is on this one, and it is one of my favorites. So, of course, we're going to have to share it today as we take you on a trip to Graceland. And we've all heard about the pink Cadillac. You're going to get to see it today. You're going to get to see what the inside of Elvis's house looks like. And it is very retro, very dated, very not modern today, but it is as he lived in it. So you're going to get to see all of that. We're going to share that with you. But we're going to take a commercial break as soon as we do Suspicious Minds. So sit back and just listen. This is Dwight Sanford, your Mr. Ellijay, as he does Elvis music.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. So when an old friend I know drops by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again. You're asking where I've been. You can't see these tears darling, you know I'll never lie to you. Yeah, yeah, we're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? Don't you know I'm caught in a trap? I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? You know I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? Don't you know I'm caught in a trap?
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
The mountains are calling, and they're closer than you think. Farmers Crossing in Ball Ground offers creekside lots with homes beginning in the 400s. Walking distance to downtown shopping, dining, tennis courts, Calvin Farmer Park, and local events. It also includes a beautiful hike to Long Swamp Creek. Leave the car and the worries behind. Move in by fall 2023. Call Cherie Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Are y'all ready to go to Graceland? Graceland. Nothing like the king of rock and roll to go out and build and buy a big, huge house for his sweet, sweet mama. Now, this was a big, huge house compared to many others in the early 50s. Well, I'm going to let you compare Graceland to the manor, the Spelling, Aaron Spelling Manor in Hollywood was 56,000 square feet. Elvis's Graceland is probably, I don't know, maybe 7,000 square feet, if it's that. But when you compare the two, the icons, they were both icons in many ways, in different ways. But the Spelling Mansion, the manor, sold for $150 million. Now, Graceland, never been on the market, won't be on the market because thank goodness Priscilla has been very smart and has maintained the home of the king of rock and roll. You're going to get to see today photos. It is as it was when he lived there. It is untouched. It has not been redecorated. It doesn't look any better than it did. I can't say the word tacky, but I can say it's different. It's that period piece. It's that period piece. But what we're going to go through today, do y'all remember that outfit? Do you remember when he did the comeback show? And I remember every second of it, sitting in the floor of the living room at our house in Morningside and watching every second of it and couldn't wait. And it was so exciting and it was so amazing. And he had not done television in a long time. He did it. Now there's my buddy, Bill and Melissa Sinyard, and they sent all these photos from Graceland. So we're going to take you on a tour. Bill, my co-host, gets to go off and have a good time. He gets to go to Memphis and take his sweetie with him, and I'm at work. Now, that's just not fun. But I've always wanted to go to Graceland, and here is our opportunity. There's Graceland. Compared to the Spelling Mansion, it is a carriage house, no more than a carriage house, because you can't even compare the two homes. But Graceland was the pride of Elvis Presley. He bought this for his mom. He died at 42 years old. His mother died at 42 years old. Look at that, his mom, his dad, and Elvis. Now, Elvis was born, he had a twin, Jesse Guerin Presley, who died as they were born. Jesse didn't make it. Elvis would have been, there would have been two Elvis Presleys. Can we imagine what the world would be like if there were two Elvis Presleys? I can't even imagine. What if one of them was super talented and what if one of them wasn't? Can you imagine being the twin of Elvis Presley? Holy cow. Now that's the one room that I think is really, really cool. I really like that room. Most of the other rooms are a little bit strange, but we're going to go, and I think this would probably be the room where he entertained his highfalutin friends. So now this is the room where everybody just hung out and ate cheeseburgers and peanut butter and banana sandwiches and just hung out. This is the kitchen. And really, really dated, really cool, but carpet in the kitchen. Yuck, I can't stand carpet in the kitchen. How can anybody have carpet in a kitchen? Nasty, nasty, nasty. But that is Graceland kitchen, yeah. And those dark, dark cabinets, and there's the dining room. Remember that butter commercial from the 60s? So this is the dining room. Yes, that's the dining room. Those beautiful, ornate curtains, drapes. Look at that chandelier. Very, very beautiful. And if you have not been to Graceland, put it on your bucket list, because even though it is a tiny carriage house compared to the Spelling Manor, it is a beautiful place. And there's Melissa, as she and Bill enjoyed their trip and just had a great time. He's always doing something really cool for her. And she was, like me, a big Elvis fan. So it's so neat to be able to share these photos with you. And of course, they were there the hottest week of the year. It was probably 100 degrees. And there again is that carpet in the kitchen. Goodness gracious. I know a kitchen that looks a lot like that but doesn't have carpet. I don't think you need carpet in a kitchen. That's just plumb crazy, y'all. You're supposed to mop. You're supposed to mop your kitchen, not vacuum your kitchen. So Elvis, shame, shame, shame. But that is the kitchen at Graceland. Now, there is where the legend, the king, the man who made music all that it ever was. And he was never, nobody will ever take his place. Don't know of a soul now or later or could be that could take his place. He was absolutely amazing. And the idea that he was a twin is just mind-boggling, because he could have had a backup singer if his brother could have sang, but it's just so strange, because when we look at this now, look at that, y'all. Now that's just plumb almost depressing. A little dark, a little gloomy, a little, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure what, I think they call that the jungle room. But yeah, very interesting, and very interesting colors in that green carpet. Can y'all imagine that? Can you imagine? But you know what's so cool? It's not faded. So now, the black and yellow, that's pretty cool, because everybody's into bumblebees now. You nail you a bunch of bumblebee signs up in there, and you might like that one, so that's pretty cool. And that is the TV room where all the guys hung out and they watched the latest news and they watched different things happening in America as history was made. Now that one, I believe that is where somebody named Mr. Ellijay went, hoping that he would get to touch the pool table that the Beatles played on, but it was a different pool table, I believe. And but that is cool. That is the room. Can you imagine the conversations that were had in that room with Elvis and his friends after they came off stage, after they wound down, after they just hung out together and did amazing, amazing things? It's crazy to think about just hanging out with Elvis Presley in his home. Now that is just wild. Now, you know, Priscilla has done such a good job of maintaining this property, taking care of it, and making it all that it can possibly be without destroying the image of as he lived in it. And I love that she didn't change anything. You know, it's just, it is absolutely beautiful. It's like Loretta Lynn's house. When you visit her house, it's like it was when they first moved there. So, but that is a very stately home, and compared to the Spelling Manor, it is not much, but when you compare the two, and you should watch both programs, go to YouTube and you can check out the manor, the Spelling Manor that Tori's mom just sold, and it is amazing to me. But you compare the two lives, very different, both icons, but very different. Now that is a limousine that carried the king around. When you think about, the king rode in style. He owned style, he possessed, but he did for others. And I think that's something that people have to remember about Elvis. If he bought himself jewelry, he bought his cohorts jewelry. If he bought himself a car, he bought them cars. He was a very generous man, and I think to his own fault, he did for others, and then Priscilla had to kind of rein him in a little bit. But that is his lifestyle. You know, he was riding around in those beautiful cars, and that's the Cadillac he bought his mom. And that is just a beautiful, beautiful car, and nothing like those old Cadillacs, just nothing. And pink, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. That is the coolest thing ever, and I wore pink and black today in honor of Elvis Presley, because he knew his mama loved pink and black. So that is so cool. I wonder what that car cost then. And now that is a ride to be recognized. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. He had such an amazing collection of so many things. And one of the things that I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about were guitars. I wonder what kind of guitars he collected. Now that's a little MG that I think I would be scared of. It's probably very fast, very fast. And it was in the movie with, what was that lady's name? Anne, is that? God, I have to think about who was his co-star in that movie. I'll have to study it up. That, when I worked at Downing Motors in Atlanta, I drove a black Cadillac convertible just like that with a white interior. And boy, did I think I was hot stuff. I'd run errands in it. They'd say, grab you a car and go here, go there, and I'd just grab a Cadillac convertible. So, but is that not the coolest thing? Beautiful, beautiful. They don't make cars like they used to. They don't make cars like they used to. And there is one of his most famous outfits. A bit strange. I bet he couldn't sweat in that because I bet there's no cotton in that outfit. I bet that is all polyester, and I bet, and when he got on stage and performed, he was a sweating maniac. So that is very interesting to see his clothes. And don't you love that? The Bible. The Bible. The Presley Bible. Is that not so cool? I love that. Love that. And much of his music came from singing in churches, visiting black churches all over the South. I remember that outfit. Wow. That is crazy, y'all. That is just, oh man, that comeback show was amazing. And his wardrobe was just, now that lavender one in the top, I don't remember him ever wearing that. I don't know. He must have worn that on probably in the Las Vegas stages. But it's amazing the things that they were able to preserve and to take care of for us to get to share today. Y'all, he's been gone for 46 years, and it seems like yesterday we were watching him on TV, we were going to the theater to see his movies. Elvis was and always will be the king of rock and roll. And, you know, if he had even had a career in gospel music, he could have done that because he loved gospel music. He loved singing the hymns that his mom taught him. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And Melissa is loving that. I can see that now. That is one of those very famous jumpsuits, and had that cape, and he was all about throwing those scarves, wearing that cape, getting the audience involved. So yeah, that is it. If you have not been to Graceland, I suggest that you go. Now, today, we're going to take you back to Hiawassee to the Georgia Mountain Fair, where we got to interview Lee Hilliard. He has been with Loretta Lynn for 30 years. When we think about the loss of Loretta Lynn to us, it's been hard. It's been hard to know that that beautiful lady that we trusted to provide music for us all our lives is now gone. But you think about somebody like Lee, who stepped on stage with her over 30 years. He was there with her on stage, day in, day out. He was on the buses with her. So we're going to go back and visit with them. We had front row tickets to this concert that night. And we had seen her maybe 5 or 6 times in the last few years. And that night, we had front row seats. It was amazing. And Grady and Mary Anderson were there with us. And I think they were on about the 8th row back. And it was their first time to ever get to see to get to see Loretta. And it was so precious to talk to them about it and to hear how they enjoyed it. And just a special, special moment, because that night was Loretta Lynn's last visit to the Georgia Mountain Fair. And if you were lucky enough to be there, you know how special it was. There were times that she got tired, she had to sit down on stage some, but she was still traveling, still doing what she loved, and with her was her friend, her employee, and somebody who thought the world of her, Lee Hilliard. And we're going to go to that interview now.
We're at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. Love Anderson Music Hall. Never has it rocked like it did tonight. Miss Loretta Lynn. Now, I'm going to admit to all my viewers that I have been seeing her in concert since I was 9 months pregnant with Angela. Y'all know Angela's 40, so think about it. For 40 years, I've been traveling to concerts and seeing her. For 30 of those years, I've seen this young man. Let's talk a little bit about your 30 years with Loretta. What has it been like for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, I treasure every single minute that I've spent on the road with her. When she brought that up tonight, she doesn't usually bring that up. She doesn't usually talk about it.
And you only look 29, so you are how old? How old are you?
Winning points early here. You know, she said she is celebrating 50 years. And when she said that, I thought tonight, wow, 30 of those years I've been out here with her.
Yeah.
And she's been, to be honest with you, not only a good friend and boss, she's kind of been like a second mom to me. And that is a long, long time to work with somebody and to practically live with somebody like as we do on the road. But she's a jewel. There's only one Loretta, and I feel so privileged to have spent all that time with her and look forward to stuff down the road.
I can only imagine the day that her music stops, because, you know, as a 40-plus year fan, I don't know that I can handle it emotionally when she doesn't turn anymore.
Well, we talked about that on the bus the other night.
I don't think I can handle it.
What is it going to be like?
Not good. Not good.
Mentally. That doesn't kind of, it's hard to think about that.
Well, out of the 6 times we've seen her this past 15 months, tonight, I think she was the best, on top of her game, funny. She looked rested.
Sure.
She, to me, was better than ever.
Well, let me tell you this. During this 50-year celebration, the last 2 months especially, she's had a media blitz. Everybody has been pulling on her. You know, we want an interview, this. And I think through all of the attention she's been getting, she's kind of giddy. She's like a little kid. And
it's all about her.
It spurred some energy that I didn't think was still there, to be honest with you. And all of a sudden, she told me the other day, she said, Lee, I want to work more than we've been working. And she said, I don't need to sit at home. What am I going to do at home? You know, and she's right. I mean, this is the thing that's going to keep her young.
Yes.
You know, it's going to keep her on top of her game. And it was music to my ears. I was glad that she said that.
I hope that this does encourage her, because I have been a little nervous. Tonight, we had a lot of our viewers here who had never had the opportunity to see her. And I told them all on the air, I said, look, guys, face it, she's 75. 50 years in the business. We don't know how long she's going to be performing.
True.
So a lot of folks came tonight thinking, what if this is the last time she comes to Georgia?
Oh, I know.
Now, y'all are leaving tonight to go to Florida.
Exactly.
A long trip. She will rest on the bus?
She will. There's a good chance she might be already down.
Okay.
Typically after a show, she'll eat her dinner. That's when she eats.
Okay.
And that's probably what she's doing right now. And as soon as she's done, we'll head down the road. She'll go to sleep, and the day will start all over again.
Now, what is a typical week? Because you said y'all spend downtime together too. When you're not working, do you? This is a funny question. Do you practice, or do you just wake up and know how to do this
Actually,
stuff?
we don't practice a lot, to be honest with you. At the beginning of the year, just about every artist will take the winter off, or the bulk of the winter, and start up around February or March. We will do rehearsals because a lot of times she'll want to put some older songs back in the show, songs we typically don't do, or maybe brand new songs. So that's when we do our rehearsals. Then periodically throughout the year, if we've got a long span of time off, we'll go out to her ranch, and she's got a little studio there that we gather in, and we'll go in and woodshed. You know, we'll just kind of polish up what we already know, and that's kind of how that works as far as rehearsals.
Well, I have been to Butcher Holler. I know where this woman started. To see the home and to see the surroundings and to see Uncle Herman's store still there, to see the things that she came from, do you think sometimes she looks around and says, man, I can't believe I'm here?
Oh, she talks about it all the time. It was so funny. I can't remember. It was one of her grandkids, I think, not long ago, came up to her and said, Mama, did you know that so-and-so said that you were really famous?
And she said,
and I thought that was so cute, you know. And yeah, it is hard to believe, especially when you think about where she came from, those early days. I mean,
okay, 30 years, then that means you knew the man that I truly believe rescued her and gave her Loretta Lynn, because she would never have stepped on stage without Doolittle's promoting what he saw at home as she sang to the children.
And you know, I was around in those days, and he was what motivated her. And he was the kind of guy, he was a quiet man.
Was he proud of her? Tell me he was proud of her. Oh, thank
There were
goodness.
times, one time we learned a gospel medley, just the background singers. There was, Peace in the Valley and songs like that in the medley. And we would come out front, and I saw him one time at the end of our show when she finished with How Great Thou Art, and then we backed her up on that. And he had tears just streaming down his face. He was as proud as he could possibly be. And he wasn't very outgoing. He was, like I said, soft-spoken, but yet he knew that everybody in this band and everybody that's on the road gave our all. And we supported her, we were loyal to her, and she's been loyal to us. I mean, obviously, I've been around 30 years. And it's always been truly like one real family on the road. And I've been around long enough to know that every band out there, it's not that way.
No.
I mean, sometimes there's this, a lot of discord, but in this group, it's always been like one tight, bonded family. And
As many times as I've seen her, my favorite performance, any out of live, television, whatever, is the one that she sings, Love is the Foundation to Doolittle, later in his life.
Yes.
And he tears up, she tears up, I cry like a baby. I mean, Love is the Foundation is my ultimate, all-time, forever Loretta Lynn song.
I love that too.
Where did that come from? Because many of her songs were written about her life. Was that song written about her life, or did somebody else write it?
Somebody else wrote that song. And his last name was Hall. I want to say Rich. I can't recall his first name, but I've met the guy. Very nice man. And I think it's just one of those songs that she put on a record that she really grew to love.
It is the best.
And it's perfect for her.
It is perfect.
Absolutely.
And to see her sit and sing to Doolittle, it brings cold chills to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you were there when he went on to be with the Lord. And Loretta went into a quiet time.
She did.
And a restful, did she ever think about giving it up then?
At one time, we all thought that she might stay at home. And I think that she got to a place, because we stopped down for a long time where we didn't go out and tour much at all. I think she got to the point to where she knew unless she got going again, it could just be the death of her.
Right.
And she did not want that.
Right.
She didn't want that. So she hopped back in the studio, started brushing up again on stuff that she had done in the past, and was eager to learn new material. And she got the band back together, and she said, I'm going for it. And she said, I want to do it the way I've always done it, because it's the way he would want me to do it.
Right. I think he would have been so disappointed to see the love of his life not share what she, it's like who she is.
Yeah,
it's who she is. To see the give back tonight from the audience.
Yeah.
Because tonight, a little girl was sitting on my lap who's been on my show 3 times. The deal was, she came on the show the first time, and I think she did a Patsy Cline song. And I said, okay, honey, that was really, really good. If you'll learn a Loretta Lynn song, I'll let you come back. Well, her mom called me in 2 weeks and said, Bailey has learned 2 Loretta Lynn songs. I said, okay. To see the audience tonight, a 3-year-old child loves her.
Right.
A 90-year-old lady loves her.
Right.
There's nobody that she doesn't reach and communicate with. And tonight, the audience gave her back all that love.
They sure did. This was a great audience here tonight. And it's consistent with Loretta. It's like that everywhere that we go. Some nights are better than others. That this crowd was especially responsive tonight, and it's always good.
Honey, it's because I met him at the door and said, if you don't clap and jump up and down, I'm going to whip y'all. So I had this one queued up.
Well, you did good.
I did good.
You sure did.
This is a night to celebrate 50 years of Loretta Lynn. To have her here in Georgia, I remember the time she was here and there was no air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've been to Hurricane Mills,
Yeah.
and there is no air conditioning.
Right.
And those are the most uncomfortable seats in the world.
Yes, they
and
are.
I still tell my viewers to go there.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
Well, it's a summertime thing. I think we do about 4 shows a year there. And it starts Memorial Day.
Right.
And the last one we wrap up the end of September. And she has a pool there. She has ponds. She has canoeing, horseback riding. And so it is really an outdoor atmosphere anyway. And so I don't think people mind that. There's something special about sitting outside in the hot air.
Well, we came up and shot a lot of footage in July, and we showed, my favorite footage, I think, was of the horses in the creek. Because when we brought it back, people saw a whole new level. You don't have to go there just to see a concert.
Right.
We encouraged people to go and just spend a week.
Oh, sure. There's a lot to do there.
There's a lot to do.
And she has a motocross there, that's real popular. And she has events all during the year at her little amphitheater where we perform with other artists as well.
Now, the last time we went, I think I'd been there 3 times before I ever took time to see the museum.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the museum and the history in that museum.
Yeah. Well,
it's amazing.
A lot of times, tonight, for instance, as I was packing up on the bus, there were several people that came up to me that gave me little things to give to Loretta. She treasures that stuff, and that's what she has in her museum. She has pieces like that. Books or dolls or what have you, just things that mean something to her, and she won't let us throw anything away. I don't care what it is,
Maybe hoarding. She could be on the hoarding program.
But the museum is special. It's got a couple of old buses that I used to travel in.
And her Mercedes. Now, I'm a Mercedes girl.
I'm a Mercedes guy.
Mercedes. Oh, gosh.
I do too.
Love her Mercedes. Now, that was a gift from Doolittle for what, their anniversary?
Right, yeah, the gold one. I remember when he bought it. Yep.
Incredible. Okay, knowing him and knowing the kind of man he was, I have seen Coal Miner's Daughter probably 85 to 100 times.
Wow.
I loved Tommy as he portrayed Doolittle. Was that a true portrayal of Doolittle?
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent portrayal. I honestly do. Of course, I didn't know Mooney when he was that young, of course, but that was. And not only that, Sissy. And I had a chance to meet Sissy on 2 or 3 different occasions.
Love Sissy. She's my favorite. Love her. Love Betty Sue. Love them.
I'll tell you a quick story. We were in Richmond, Virginia, the first time I met Sissy. She came out on the bus, and Loretta introduced her to me and everybody. And she asked Sissy, "Would you want to come out and sing 3 or 4 songs?" So she said, "Well, sure." And of course, the band would know what to play and all that kind of stuff. When she came out and sang, and of course I had to sing background parts with her, I swear it was almost like, if I wasn't looking, it was just like singing with Loretta.
Yes.
And it was spooky.
Yes.
All of her inflections and everything. She traveled with Loretta for about a full year before they shot the film. So she really got to know her little, innuendos, everything about her. And so that was an amazing thing. And like you, I thought the movie was
is incredible.
Well, let me tell you about the movie Coal Miner's Daughter. I've seen it over and over and over. I never get tired of it. Watch the movie Coal Miner's Daughter. It's too hot to go outside. It's too miserable to be out there in that mess. Turn your air conditioning down to 74 and watch Coal Miner's Daughter. It is a fantastic movie about a wonderful, wonderful lady, and I'm so appreciative of Lee for doing that interview with us. He was the nicest guy. And, you think about these people are still working, a lot of them still at Loretta Lynn Ranch, because they still do concerts there. If you have not visited Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, go and visit. They're going to have a big gospel concert as they do every Labor Day weekend. Check out the information, go online, and you can purchase your tickets. You can be there. You can get to walk through her house. You can walk through her museum. Her museum is absolutely amazing, 18,000 square feet of any and everything. So we've given you 2 options today of things that you can do that you have to drive to Tennessee. Well, I have something you can do locally. You can go to the churches, the concerts, the local benefits, and you can see some of our great local talent. We're going to go now to one of my favorite families. Today, we're going back through the years. Through the years, the Kaler family has been a big part of what I loved about television. I so appreciate them. I appreciate their spirit. And right now, the Kaler family needs your prayers as one of theirs is battling cancer. So please say a prayer for the Kalers, say a prayer for this young lady who we hope got good news and continues to get good news. Cancer is evil, and we have got to pray it away very, very soon. we're going to have something ready to go on YouTube. We're not going to do it here because you're going to have to be older to get to see this, but I want to share my story of how important early diagnosis is, how important the doctor you choose is, how important prayer is. And it is amazing to me when I see what my arm was and what my arm is becoming. I am like blown away. Very, very thankful. And I can't be any more thankful than I am for our friends, the Kaler family. So we're going to go to a little bit of music by a very, very special family.
Oh, bless the Lord, yes, bless the Lord. Well, bless His holy name. Let me not forget all His benefits or the blessings that He brings. Lifting up my hands to the great I am, let me never be ashamed. With all that is within me now, oh, bless His holy name. Now Jesus is to me my everything, and I bless the day He came, when He gave me drink from His fountain sweet, that I'll never thirst again. Now through the Spirit of the Son to the Father I can say, for your saving blood and for all you've done, bless your holy and sweet name. Oh, bless the Lord, yes, bless the Lord. Well, bless His holy name. Let me not forget all His benefits or the blessings that He brings. Lifting up my hands to the great I am, let me never be ashamed. With all that is within me now, oh, bless His holy name. Amen. Someday I'll move beyond the blue, where a better home awaits, there to lay aside for a crown of life all this sorrow, death, and pain, to see my loved ones and to know I have bid this world goodbye. I will lift my hands and I'll bless His name while I'm shouting through the sky. Oh, bless the Lord, yes, bless the Lord. Well, bless His holy name. Let me not forget all His benefits or the blessings that He brings. Lift the great I am, let me never be ashamed. Is within me now, oh, bless His holy name. I'm lifting up my hands to the great I am, let me never be ashamed. With all that is within me now, oh, bless His name. The Lord is good, His mercy endureth forever and ever, to all generations. So I will stand up and sing praise, hallelujah, for I know the Lord is good. I was sick in my body and I could not get well. The great physician passed by my way. Oh, I is good. The Lord is good. His mercy endureth forever and ever, to all generations. So I will stand up and sing praise, hallelujah, for I know the Lord is good. He reached down and touched me when I was so low I could not get up or go down any farther. My sins, which were many, He forgave and forgot them all. I know the Lord is good. The Lord is good. His mercy endureth forever and ever, to all generations. So I will stand up and sing praise, hallelujah, for I know the Lord is good. Yes, I know the Lord is good.
Today, we've been looking back through the years. Through the years, we have had so many amazing guests. We've had so many amazing prayer requests, and we've had so many prayers answered. Today, I'm going to ask you all to pray for Gracie McFarland. She is part of the Kaler Hooper family, and I'm telling you, this little beautiful young girl grew up in front of us, and now she's married, and it's amazing how fast time goes. Please pray for Gracie and for her husband Josh, and hope that Gracie gets a good medical report and that things will be well. And you've heard the family sing, "It is well with my soul. It is well with her soul. Let's get her body well." So please say a prayer for them. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day because we have the new owners of Blue Ridge Medical Center, which used to be Fannin Regional. And we're excited about the changes. We're excited about the new things that are going to be happening. And we want to share that with y'all. We also want to share all the hours that the Pink Ladies have put in, because many of those ladies have been doing it for over 30 years. It's amazing to me how they find time out of their busy days to give back to the community. We should all do that. And if you're not part of your community, become a part of your community. Find something to do, whether it be in animal adoption, whether it be in fostering children, whether it be in helping in any possible way that you can. If you're part of a community, really become part of that community and give back. Today I want to ask y'all to pray for somebody very special. Miss Evelyn went to the doctor when she was in Peru and had a lot of tests run. And she has some things that they're just kind of working on and trying to get resolved. Today she has another appointment with a specialist. And we want to ask you to pray that Evelyn gets good news, because she's been on some high-powered antibiotics, some crazy things happening, and they're trying to find all the answers. So today, let's hope that today's doctor finds the answer and solves the problem. Wouldn't that be wonderful? We have to pray for each other, and thank you for each and every person who prayed for me, and to everybody who's waiting on Dwight's music. He said, "Don't deliver any of the older ones yet. Let's wait till I get the new ones done." And I said, well, people get impatient. Yes, please be patient. He's getting it done. He's made some progress, and according to Saturday's progress report, everything's done except Astrid's part. If Astrid gets in here, then it'll be done and it'll be mastered. So don't be impatient. We will get it to you as soon as we can. Thank you for tuning in today. Please check us out on YouTube. You know that everything we do goes to YouTube, and we've got lots of blippets of Xana, of the puppies, of the goats, of all different things in there. And just check it out. Subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe to YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button. We have 3 pages, and they all have old programs on it. One has, it's Cherie Martin, one is Cherie Martin 2009, and one is Cherie Martin Heart of the Home. But check out all 3. You might see yourselves in there, because we've loaded a bunch of old programs. So I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow, when we get to know a little bit more about the new owners of the hospital. And I hear good things are going to happen. Join us then. Bye, y'all.